Well, the federal government says it is prioritizing efforts to secure the release of the remaining schoolgirls. We joined now by Olalere Babalola, who is a member of the Bring Back Our Girls movement. And right here in the studios, Nkeki Mutah, who's the chairman of Chibok community. Gentlemen, good to see you, and thanks for your time. Not a good moment for Nigerians, 9 years, almost a decade. Let's start with you, Mr. Mutah. How is it going with the community? Let's start with children abducted, some returning on their own, some have been rescued, and some still with the abductors for almost a decade.
Simply terrible. Our people, at times we even lose we lost hope, or even we consider that maybe government does not care about our community, because normally when they see communities that does not have a large population, especially during this democratic era, they think we are valueless. After all, how much is your vote? Well, that is how we normally think. Otherwise, as far as I'm concerned, what has happened to Chibok wouldn't have even last long like this. I know the capacity of Nigeria, having been at this age, right from the day when we are proud of Nigerian military, we are proud of Nigerian security generally, and for us to see that children of masses that have been massively adopted, that government just playing to the gallery, saying we are doing our best, we are doing that. What is that? Is it not a shame to us that these girls are still in the hands of people that are the same citizen like us, consider our government to be ineffective? That is what is paining us. And this is speaking to us as if maybe government deliberately refused to act, because I know even America, after this, when they see situation a little bit beyond them, they go out to seek for assistance. Talk lots of third world country like us, no matter how strong we are, we just out of pride that cannot even carry you anywhere. You say you will not go and seek for assistance, and your citizens are suffering in the hands of criminals. That is my concern, and indeed the concern of our people, because government deliberately refused to rescue this girl. You can see example, even those ones that were rescued about 6 months to 1.5 years, government is holding. What is the reason for that? If they have good plan for the girls, why can't they unfold the plan for the parents? What is the interest of government holding somebody's children for more than a year after coming out of captivity? That is another captivity. No matter how good you are doing to someone's children, he will never feel at home. That love is already lost. So what does the government mean? Honestly, that is what our people are thinking about.
Yes, indeed, and many people are thinking about it too. Olalere Babalola, let me take your point from what Nkeki here has said, especially about the 14 young girls who are in, the military's custody, and they're questioning why exactly is the military keeping them. Nkeki here believes there's more to it than meets the eye. But let me bring in the figures that are, have been quoted by UNICEF, saying that since 2014, over 2,400 serious violations affecting 6,800 children in the Northeast, and 700 children have been forcefully abducted and recruited by armed groups still in the Northeast. What do you make of these figures coming out in spite of all that's happened since Chibok 2014?
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me to this program. I think this underlines the fact that the government is simply violating the social contract it has with people. There is a responsibility government should have to citizens. And that is actually the base of our struggle. Government is failing, and they are not learning, obviously not learning from what has happened in the past. Chibok happened, there is so much outcry about it, but we can see a repeat of what happened in Chibok. Different initiatives that we have suggested to government, they were not carried out, obviously. You don't see any targeted attempt to do something differently, and this is happening. And as we see it, children who go to school are still exposed to danger. And to make matters worse, it's even the 14 ones that have been abducted. It's like they escaped one abduction, and got into another abduction. And just what government keeps doing, keeping the parents in the dark. You might be planning to do something good. You might be giving good food, good education to them where they are kept. But at least speak to the parents. And that is what we are saying. There are different reports. We could understand the time when they didn't rescue anybody or they have not found any of the Chibok girls. They found at least about 127 of them now have been found out of the 219 that were carried away. So 92 still out there. What has happened to these people? At least speak with the parents. Give hope to the parents. On this front, government is failing. And that is my interpretation of what the numbers are that is being put on the table for us as a people, as a country. We have to keep on holding our government accountable.
Let me come to Nkeki here, and this has to do with, it breaks the heart of any Nigerian or any human watching you this night. And you spoke about the pain the community and even the country has gone through. Let us in on first those that have been rescued and those who have returned. Let us in on the life they live now amongst the people.
Okay, those people, those girls that have been rescued.
Yes.
To some extent, those that were rescued, there are two batches now. The first one that were rescued around 2019 or so.
2016.
Starting from 2018 to 2019. Some of them, the greater number of them, they are in school. That is quite true. And at least, even though government refused to accept our suggestion initially, because at the time when they were under rehabilitation, our community, our development association, we wrote 3 different letters to federal government that because of the trauma and the psyche of the girls, we do not want them to school in Nigeria, that let them go abroad. Indeed, the former British Prime Minister came with good news. We were aware, some of us, the leaders of the community, were invited and give us intel that they have the intention of carrying these people, recruit these girls outside the country. And with that, we follow up with 3 different letters to federal government. As I'm talking to you, federal government never give us a reply to this letter. Only for us, indeed, when the girls were under the process of rehabilitation, they deny us access. Me, as I'm talking to you, the daughter of my junior brother, same mom, same dad. At the time we wanted to even go, I carried them inside my car. I went and dropped them in the former minister's house, former minister of Women Affairs, under whose care those girls were undergoing rehabilitation process. Only for the minister spoke that I cannot go and see my daughter. Can you imagine? And I was denied to go and see.
You mean till this date?
I am telling you that
you've not been granted access.
I was not granted to even see the girl until they stay for about 8 months. I never see this girl. So during this period, we, the community, we wrote 3 different letters to federal government that because of the trauma and the situation, we want our girls to go and study abroad because they cannot remain comfortable to study very well. And honestly, federal government never even give us a reply. And we were given here intel that the international community was ready to support along that line. So that is the situation we find ourselves. So when I spoke in this manner, I know right from the beginning to the end, we know that there are a lot to say about this adoption.
Well, thankfully, I mean, we can say, Olalere, two of the Chibok girls who were abducted 8 years after graduated from university in the United States, Joy Bishara and Lydia Pogo. But it's not only children, school children, that are at risk, or even children generally in the Northeast. Figures say that 2,295 teachers have been killed since 2009, at least between 2009 and 2022. 19,000 teachers dislocated, 1,500 schools, closed, 910 schools destroyed. With this picture, what do you envisage will happen to the Northeast as far as education is concerned down the line, considering, of course, the Safe Schools initiative that Nigeria signed up to?
Thank you very much. Obviously, it's no-brainer to know what all this one come out to. Definitely, when those children that have seen others who went to school abducted will never hope to go to school because they have the fear. The ones that were abducted, or the ones that escape abduction, where it happened, they are afraid of going back to school. The ones that were abducted, as it has been mentioned, anywhere you want to put them, because the Boko Haram told them before they were even released that anywhere you go to, even if you escape, we are still coming back for you. And Nigerian government has obviously demonstrated the lack of capacity to rescue these people, because you will see very few of them were actually rescued. Yeah, we thank the military for their efforts. Many of them were brought back by negotiation, not by rescuing them. So it does not inspire confidence that, oh, anywhere I am, government is there to come and rescue me. So all this added together tell us the fact that Boko Haram's objective is being granted. That is, people should not receive education. Government needs to do a lot more. We need to, as a people, we need to stand up to this challenge. It is the future of these children, the future of the country, the future of the zone that we are putting at risk, and a lot needs to be done by the government. Different suggestions have been made to them. As you mentioned, the Safe School Initiative the suggestion has been made. Government told us they have accepted, but we cannot see anything on ground done to show that they are following their promise by action. So many things, even the missing people's register that was suggested, government say, oh, very bright initiative, because people just get missing. They rescue people that nobody knew were missing in the first place. Open a register where people can report when somebody is missing, so that at least when you find somebody, you can match it to a record. Oh, they said they were going to create a missing person desk in the Ministry of Humanitarian. We are not aware of anyone opened. There is no evidence that this was done. So these different brilliant initiatives have come from the movement and other people to the government. When it is politically correct to say they will accept, they will say they accept it. But we don't see the implementation, which is exactly the kind of thing you see with the Safe School Initiative. Really, a lot has to be done. It's going to be a disaster for the zone when people cannot go to school. People are afraid of going to school. It is not the best thing that can happen to us as a country.
Close on this and bring Nkeki back and quickly.
Hopefully on a hopeful note.
Yes, now we have a new government coming in, and what do you expect? If we can be very quick with this, Nkeki, what's your message to the incoming government on the rescue or release of the remaining girls?
Well, what I expect from the incoming government is to redeem their failure. Since the incoming government is still the government of APC, we expect that the failure they make for the Chibok girls and the Chibok community in general, because why I say Chibok community in general is that up to this moment, as I'm talking to you, when government is claiming to have defeated Boko Haram, there is no week or at least at most a month that will pass by without somebody being killed by Boko Haram in Chibok or being abducted. I am telling you right from the time this thing happened. So we expect the incoming government, since it is still the government of APC, we expect them to come and redeem their failure by giving confidence to the people of Chibok in terms of their security and bring back all the remaining girls.
Yeah, very well said. Olalere, I mean, same question to you very quickly. What would be your message to the next administration?
Okay, thank you very much. They should know what the responsibility of government is. There is a social contract. Government owes the citizen responsibility for their security. That is what we all give up our violent tendencies for. And we expect the government to live up to this expectation. Know that the life of every citizen matters. We are just not a number. So when a citizen cannot be found, a government should live up to its responsibility to do something targeted at addressing the situation, make sure anybody that's missing is rescued. That is the responsibility of the government. And we want to challenge the next government. We will keep on being on their neck. We are non-partisan. We will be on their neck that they must stand up to their responsibility. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Olalere Babalola is member Bring Back Our Girls group, and Nkeki Mutah is chairman Chibok community. Thank you both of you for joining us, and we look forward to better days.